I remember, I mean, it still happens, but there are times when I can't resolve a painting, and I'll be up all night just thinking about, what do I do now? How do I fix this? And you always get it eventually. And if you don't, it's not a big deal to lose a painting here or there, but the way I work, I can usually resuscitate a painting with my handy dandy sander. I document everything I'm doing on my phone when I'm painting, so the painting will be at one stage. I'll take a picture of it, I'll look at it in the morning, I'll think about what to do next. I have so many iterations of one painting that when I go back to my phone and look at some of those earlier iterations, I want to die because some of them are so great. Fine, perfect, no problem. They were good paintings, but at the time I didn't think that they hit the mark. It's the cost of doing business. Yeah. Well, the idea of killing your darlings is, and I talk about this with some of my artist friends all the time, which is there's a place in the painting that is just so gorgeous for you, to you. And you protect it, and then you get to a place where your darling is the one thing in the painting that it's holding the whole progress of the painting back. And sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes a year. Ultimately, you recognize I got to kill that. I start with like little bits of garbage, honestly. Like I'll have something left over from a painting, making a painting, an old palette. The stuff that gets left over from the process of making a painting. So in a sense, the paintings are connected by the process. Sometimes it's just like this little piece of tape that was on the floor. That could be a painting. That could be a whole painting right there. If you just start painting, then you just keep responding to that move, and then you respond to the next move, and you respond to the next move, and that's the process. Sometimes it feels like it's never as good as the thing that you found on the floor, Borrowing is what everybody does. You can't ignore all of art history, right? I mean, you have to borrow, but you have to make it yours too. You can't just steal and put it up there and say, I came up with this, I'm such an original, which is another joke that, to think that you can ever be completely original is kind of, I think, suspect. Making paintings isn't easy. Sometimes people lose sight of the fact of what a struggle it is to make a painting. I think a lot of times people have this romanticized idea of what an artist is. You might spend 8 hours in your studio just staring at a painting one day. Or you may spend 8 hours painting and then only to, take an old rag and wipe everything off before you shut the lights off and go home. It sure doesn't take waiting for inspiration, I'll tell you that. It takes showing up and doing the work. When I leave the studio, this is sort of like metaphysical, or something happens to me when I leave the studio. Everything is magnified, everything's electric. It would be fun just to paint this on a white background. I mean, I'd be satisfied with that. It's a kind of a tricky thing to explain. See, I'm noticing things that I would never notice. It just feels like I have a different consciousness after a day in the studio, and that's worth the price of admission. Some nice colors over there. It's, I guess, somebody's belongings, but that whole configuration there, I think, is really nice. When I'm not making paintings, I'm thinking about making paintings. And it's always that it's always that thing about, oh, the next painting I make is going to be really great. They're speaking a language that isn't real common. And I think that's why I like these paintings, is because they're definitely speaking a language that is something that I haven't exactly mastered myself. I think that's the beauty of it, is that it's often beyond language. It's a different realm. I don't have any grand theories or references that I want to make a painting about, and it's much more interesting to just paint and see where it takes you. I'd rather see something that I didn't expect to see than something I planned to see.
You're what?
A meandering speaker. I talk like I paint, which is like I gotta find my way.